What up, Bulls Nation? Peck here. We got a live CHGO Bulls postgame coming up for y'all right around the corner. Bulls win! That's a 2-0 trip to Florida, y'all. Take down the Heat 114-109. Tre Jones came up big in that fourth quarter run. Josh Giddey, dagger 3 to cap his triple-double. I'm dead inside. Let's break it down next. What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome in to CHGO Bulls postgame. Coming to you live from our studios here in West Loop, downtown Chicago. I'm Peck, Bulls _ Peck. That's Big Dave. Bam! AWL Sports. Will the Goat Gottlieb. Will _ Gottlieb. Perfectly coiffed.
And comfortable, too.
And the queen of the controls, the one and only Katie Duffy. What up, Katie?
Happy International Women's Day. You're not allowed to be mean to us today.
Woo! Or at least not allowed to be mean to Katie today.
We'll see how it goes.
I'm sure there's plenty of hate coming my way today.
Let's go.
As the loudest giddy skeptic of the bunch.
Send it on.
Take that, Peck, says MG Blazer 77. Andrew, hi, idiots. Can't imagine you have anything bad to say about Giddey today.
See, no, that's disappointing. Andrew's usually not that mean.
No?
So I'm disappointed in you.
Well, hey, you can call me an idiot for a lot of reasons, but I'm still standing on that
really,
take not
the
being
people
one
are
of them.
just here to shove it in your face, Peck.
See, where's Peck at?
Take that,
I want
Peck.
my apology.
I want my apology.
Keep holding your breath, y'all. I will be proven right in the end.
I will prevail.
Can't wait for y'all to be excited about another play-in tournament next season when the Bulls are a little closer to 500 but still under it with Josh Giddey leading the way and the Bulls missing out on a top pick. Can't wait for that. It's going to be really fun. How fun was tonight's win?
There's one.
There you go, y'all.
There's
Dave, how are
one.
you?
I'm doing great.
Doing great. That's great to hear.
I told you when he hit that 3, I immediately said, "Oh, man, you're going
What
to
a
be
dagger.
here for a long one."
Especially on a night when the Bulls,
dagger.
as a group, shot horribly from 3.
A dagger
Josh
3.
Giddey said, take that one.
A dagger 3. And since they won, Katie, do you mind smacking people in the face if you have some time for them? On International Women's Day?
Bulls win.
Can you slap them again, please?
Bulls win.
Can you do it for the ladies one time?
Bulls win.
And then drop the bomb on their face.
Bulls win.
That's how it's done. That's how it's done up in here. Yes, F the Heat. I just like to point out the Bulls are beating these teams that I didn't pick for them to lose to, because I'm not picking for them to lose to the Knicks, and I'm not picking for them to lose to the Heat. So the Heat lost. I am not going to be sad about the Heat losing ever. All right? I don't care how I feel or what's going on. You beat the Knicks, you beat the Heat, you're going to get some joy right here on this face right here, because I don't care about either one of those teams, man. Yeah. But the way it was done, whew, that was something. Entertaining game. I'll say that. I was definitely entertained, especially by that fourth quarter. Went back and forth. Then the Heat, I don't know what happened to them. They just kind of, ball just wouldn't go in for those guys. Fouls were not being called for them. Bam Adebayo, I thought he was on his way to like a big night, and he just couldn't get it going from the referee side. He couldn't get it going. But, man, dude, I've got to give the credit to the Bulls, because even though Kobe White wasn't shooting well, even though the Bulls as a team were not shooting well, they continued to fight. They continued to find a way to stay in this game, and then at the end took over and won this game. Yes, Tre Jones was outstanding, and Josh Giddey led the way for the Chicago Bulls. What a huge, confident 3 I watched Josh Giddey take, and he did a couple of those in this game tonight. Just some confident-ass shots from Josh Giddey. He deserves all the love. He deserves all the praise, man. Another triple-double for him, almost a 30-point triple-double, for goodness sakes. So he deserves all the love and the credit for this game that he played. And I have other stuff to say about him, but GOAT.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, tremendous game from him. And, like, I've been adamant, or not adamant, but, like, I've been outspoken that, like, the triple-doubles is not what's going to impress me about his performance, but his impact on the game is what's going to impress me. And tonight, plus 26. Meanwhile, Kobe was minus 11. So obviously, plus minus. Shout out to you, Doug Tonis and C-Red Fred. Not a perfect stat. Not a perfect stat by any means, but you can see throughout like the course of a game when there are swings, when runs are happening. And obviously, to Doug's point, I think there are better stats that capture more of that. But from a single game perspective, just looking at the box score, this stands out when a guy obviously puts up real numbers like that, 26, 10, and 12, but is also a big part of what's happening when the Bulls are playing well. And so, yeah, huge night for him, 9 of 15 from the field. The things I like, obviously he made his 3. He was 3 of 4 tonight, but 5 of 6 from the free throw line. He continues to drive. He continues to get downhill. He continues to draw fouls. And Kobe White, who we'll touch on soon here, also 9 of 9 at the free throw line, despite a poor shooting night. So this team has been like all of a sudden, I mean, they were averaging 18 free throw attempts per game before the All-Star break. All of a sudden, 30 last night or whenever they played last, 26 tonight. They're getting to the foul line. They're playing fast. They're getting out in transition. And even when their threes aren't falling, they're finding a way to win. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that they are aggressive getting into the paint, attacking the rim and drawing fouls.
I think that last part is the key part. Like, even though stuff isn't working, they're still finding ways to win. I used to praise guys individually for doing stuff like that. Like Kobe White, I would praise him like, oh, his 3 isn't falling, but he still would find a way to score and still find a way to kind of impact the game and help the team get a victory. Now that stuff is kind of spread around now to all these guys because all of them are playing like this, and it feels like they have a belief. Like they really have a belief in themselves. When the game started, Will was like, look at Kobe being a leader out there because he pulled all 5 of those guys together, and you saw him talking to all of them, speaking to all of them, like, hey, man, just let them know what they needed to do on the floor. So that was new for me to sit there and watch. And none of those guys took it incorrectly. They all were like, yeah, okay, bet. We're on the same team. Let's do our thing. So I appreciate that from the Bulls. There feels like there's a unity being built for those guys, and that's a great thing. That's what you want to see from your young guys is how they're playing every game, being tough, being active, being consistent. When something isn't working, they're not dwelling on it. When the ball goes into the basket for the opposing team, they're taking it out of the net, and they're running back down the floor. And that definitely helped them tonight on both sides of the ball. It definitely played well for them, and they did it in the clutch. They did it in the clutch time. So it didn't look like they were going to get this kind of victory tonight. But that fourth quarter came, and again, on the road. The Bulls are much better on the road, Matt, than they are at home.
This is true.
It showed again tonight, man.
Great job, AK, protecting that home court. Shout out to everybody hanging out with us in the chat. Hit the like button. All you Giddey lovers, glad to see you here.
I am.
Robert J said, to quote Chicago's premier basketball expert, Giddey won't even get near $20 million a year. He's trash. Welcome to the chat, Pecker. I never said he's not getting $20 million. I said I wouldn't pay him that.
Yeah.
He's definitely getting that. He's definitely getting that.
This is why
I have said that
is here.
Repeatedly.
He knows he's going to get that
yeah,
check. Yeah,
exactly.
That's why
Tanya Evans, is the weird mustache man going to compliment Giddey? Just you wait.
Mommy is the weird mustache man.
Connor, our guy, saying Giddey also deserves credit defensively. He's much more engaged since that rough start to the season. So let's start there because I do agree with Connor. I have seen a more locked-in defensive end Giddey in this stretch of games when the team has become a lot more about him.
Yeah.
And the departure of Zach LaVine in that trade, Vooch now with this, we thought maybe it was going to be a brief absence, now extended absence. Lonzo's been sitting. Mm-hmm. Kobe's kind of been up and down. Mm-hmm. Josh Giddey has taken a central focus point of what this team is about recently. And I am impressed more so what I've seen with him on the defensive end. But it begs the question, even for those of us who are skeptics, which part of this stretch of games that has been more about Josh Giddey as a focal point for the Bulls do you see as the biggest evidence of growth in his game from maybe where we came into this season and him starting out with hey, we got to figure out who this guy is because we just traded for him. Clearly the front office wants him to be a big part of the future. The other part, and you were noting that Kobe 9 of 9 from the line on a night when he wasn't shooting well. The other thing that I will give Josh Giddey credit for is that in this recent stretch of games, he is getting to the free throw line a lot more.
He is.
Earlier, a few weeks back, I looked, and I think he was at 2.1 free throw attempts per game. Mm-hmm. I feel like in this recent stretch of the last 8 or 10, I'm looking up and he's getting 6, 7, 8, 9 free throw attempts in a lot of these games.
Mm-hmm.
Even in his own weird, physically awkward style of play, he's drawing fouls.
He is.
Good for him.
Yeah, he's getting shout out. Said, hope Matt likes carrots.
What up, Briscoe?
It's out there.
Actually,
there it
I
is.
hate carrots.
Yeah, it's not a fan. To that first part you talked about getting in your 2 parts there, I wanted to add on this is when he had his game against the Knicks and we had our show in Studio B, shout out Studio B. I talked about how obviously he had a good game, but I talked about where is his baseline? Like, where is it that I know this is exactly what I'm getting from Josh Giddey? I was talking about consistency. What can I pencil him in for on a night-to-night basis? And since that game, he has been absolutely consistent. And he is consistently getting close to these triple-doubles. He has consistently been a terror on the rebound. I keep telling y'all, his superpower is rebounding. Will even pointed out during the game just how good he was at boxing out. So I'm watching him be consistent as far as the way he's scoring. And again, for a guy to not have any kind of go-to anything, a shot or whatever, he's still putting up points. I always find that kind of stuff impressive because this is why I loved Rondo. Like, he wasn't a guy that was known for scoring, but Rondo would have a 30-point, 18-rebound, 12, 15 assist game against you. And he would do it at the time that you really, truly needed it. That's the other part of Giddey's game we'll get to later, but that stuff we'll find out when the Bulls get to the play-in tournament about that kind of stuff in the clutch and things. But I think in this game, him hitting that 3 and the way he shot it just so confidently, like, I knew it was going in when he shot the ball, which is wild to say. Because just from the way his body language told me, like, oh, no, bro, I'm supposed to be shooting this basketball right here. And that is some confident stuff. And for me, it just adds to the consistency and what I wanted to see from Josh Giddey as this season continued on. He's doing a great job. He is really, truly doing a great job. I can right now pencil him in for double-digit points, double-digit rebounds, and maybe 8 or 9 assists. And that's pretty damn good.
Man, these comments are killing me right now. But I will say this because I think you bring up a good point about the play-in and about his shooting. Like, the big question was, is this guy going to be able to play in the playoffs? Yeah. He just got playoffs before. It's not like he thinks like he's not going to be able to play. It's like we just had evidence from the most recent playoff series that when he was out there, the Mavericks went at him and he wasn't able to stay on the floor. And then, he wasn't able to shoot. They didn't guard him and they were playing 4-on-5. What he's done these past couple games is shoot confidently when he's been open, and he's been making them. He's going to have off nights. He's going to have hot nights. He was 3 of 4 tonight. I think he was like 0 of whatever last night. That's okay. That's going to happen. But he's taking them, and I think that's a really important factor here.
Yeah.
Because when he does get hot, he's going to make you pay. And now I think he has taken a step forward as a shooter. That's really important. But the big question I have for him still is, like, obviously we knew he was going to put up big numbers when the ball was put in his hands. The offense has been completely catered to him and his strengths, which is what he kind of needs, right?
Yeah.
But, like, I think this is a bigger question just about, like, the direction of the team. And
Sure.
I do want to talk about the draft and the value of draft picks with this team, but it's just like, how does that factor in with the team moving forward? Because right now it's like the people in the comments are having a good time. They're talking about the 10th seed.
Enjoy.
Like, assuming you guys are happy about this win, I assume you'll also want to continue on and win at a high level in the playoffs one day.
Yeah.
So how do you build a team? And I'm not saying you can't do that with Giddey. It's absolutely not the case. I'm just saying, how do you do that given these circumstances? How do you continue to build forward?
Yeah.
And especially, like, we did not see this version of Giddey when Zach and Vooch were playing. So, like, when you introduce more good players, how does he look then?
Yeah.
Again, it's not saying that he won't be able to do it or anything. Right. I'm just saying these are the questions that I have when you're thinking about team building. And as the Bulls continue to win these games and decrease the odds and value of their own draft pick, now you're looking at free agency and trades as opposed to draft free agency and trades. And so what does that mean for your team building? So tremendous game from Giddey, great stretch from him. And nothing I'm saying is like critical of him. It's more just like questions about how does this team go from here?
And I think that bigger question is, what do you do when teams start keying in on you, period, as the best player, as that guy? And I think we'll get that question answered for sure. But that's going to be the question, because that wide open 3, if they're keying in on you and being that guy, he won't get that wide open 3. But can you still hit it? Not saying he can't. Not saying he can't ball out, but Teams are going to start looking at him, man. And that is honestly showing him love to how well he's playing when teams put you on the whiteboard, for sure.
I am curious where, like, the differentiation lies between people who are Bulls fans and people who are just Josh Giddey fans. And now kind of are quasi-Bulls fans because Giddey is here. Because, like, if we're talking about what he can do for this team, and I'm not trying to be, like, sarcastic. This is real. How are the Bulls doing win-loss-wise over the last, like, 20 or so games in the post-Zach LaVine era? Vooch is sitting a lot. Lonzo's been out. The game and the offense of the Bulls specifically is all about Josh Giddey. What are we, like 5-15 in these games? And those wins coming mostly against trash teams?
Something like that.
What's to be excited about? Sorry for that dose of reality. But we got to take our first break there. We will come back. Still plenty more to get to. There's a lot of love also for Tre Jones in the comments. Yeah. He had himself a game, especially that fourth quarter. Fantastic. We can talk about that too. Hit that like button if you're hanging out with us on YouTube. Even if you don't like me, hit the like button for Katie, for Goat, for Dave.
Yeah.
Or hit it because you don't like him.
Or
exactly. Show your hate for Matt by hitting the
like.
I will figure out that you hate me if you hit the like button.
Show us how much you hate Peck.
If you don't hit the like, that means you love him.
That's right. Oh.
Thumbs down just makes you mean you love him. That's all it means. Thanks for loving Matt. Do me a favor, Matt.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Just take a sip out of that cup.
Okay, sure.
Go ahead. Go ahead, sir. Get that sip up out of that cup. Hey, Jake Zawoski. Get a sip out of that cup, man. Oh, because game day just got better. Yes. Why? It's right there on your screen. Because it's Sam Adams American Light. Easy drinking. It is right on the can with the easiest of the drink. Oh, light beer just got so much better. Introducing Sam Adams American Light. It's clean, it's crisp, and it's super easy to drink. No gimmicks, no fluffs. And the softest hoodie in the game. Check out GOAT rocking it right there, ladies and gents. Light beer made right. Light beer shouldn't feel like a compromise, y'all. It should be cool. It should be smooth. You should be enjoying your day. And you can do that with the Sam Adams American Light because it's an American classic so smooth, you don't want to crack open another one. And then another one. And then another one. And then one more and another one. Because it's always Sam season. Light beer just got better. Grab some Sam Adams American Light. Available now at select Chicago retailers. Must be 21. Please, I implore you, please drink responsibly.
Postgame tonight also brought to you by Hooters. Is there any better combination than Hooters and Chicago sports?
Nope.
Dave says nope. What makes original Hooters so special? Simple. They care about their people, the food they serve, their guests, and the community. It's an experience like no other based on years of hard work. Plus, $6 cocktails. Who wouldn't want that? Thirsty? Head to Hooters for their $6 cocktails all day, every day. Enjoy an Absolute, a Bacardi, single mixed cocktails for just $6. Also, those legendary Hooters margaritas. Yep, that's right. Also, just $6. Tasty, delicious, and affordable. At Hooters, originality isn't just one thing; it's everything. Hooters is always original. Hooters has created an experience like no other with years of hard work. It's their family. They're here because they care. Often imitated, never duplicated. The original Hooters has been one of a kind since 1983. So head on down to your nearest Chicagoland Hooters location, one of the 11 there are in Chicago and the surrounding suburbs, to get some delicious cheap beverages and, of course, those delicious chicken wings. God, I love some chicken wings. You can also order online with Hooters and have them delivered to you or pick up in store. Check them out at originalhooters.com. Moving right along. CHGO Bulls post-game. Bulls taking down the Heat. Shout out to Juan Miller. Is that spot on, Peck? Please tell me, what is there to be so excited about? Well, Juan, you and I may be in the minority because it seems like Bulls fans right now are real excited about a couple of these wins.
Well, like you said, Matt, it's a carrot there. But I liken it more to, you've been starving and thirsty in the desert for a long time. So seeing 2 wins, it's been a while since the Bulls had 2 back-to-back wins.
Sure.
And in this kind of fashion, with Kobe going 44 and then when he got the last second in Miami, screw the Heat.
Yeah.
I think that's why they're it's the best cracker I've ever had in my life. It's delicious.
Jesus Navas throwing a lot of hate my way in the comments. Thanks for hanging out here. Was saying, is he really saying the Bulls are only beating bad teams? You want to run down the Bulls' most recent victories? Bulls over the Magic the other night. Magic, tailspin. Bulls Heat tonight. That Heat team. I mean, we might see them in the play-in tournament again, but that's no team that's beating anybody this year. Let's see. Bulls Sixers. That was another big one.
Yeah.
That was another fun big win. What was that? Toronto Raptors. That was another recent win. Yes. There's me showing my work on Bulls beating trash teams. Please show me your work. Please show me why I should be so excited about these Bulls W's recently.
So that's a great point because looking ahead, I'm sorry, Kate, do you want to say something? Okay.
Yeah, you do.
She
Katie.
did. I saw her creep to the mic. She stepped back. Okay. But looking ahead, I think what Matt is going to get a lot of answers to those questions because the Bulls schedule is going to take a turn. And when they go out west and they start playing those teams. And that's where I am honestly excited to see and watch because things will be a little different with the West teams that are playing them because the West is so crowded and guys are looking to move up and guys are looking to move down. I'm sorry, not move down, but guys are looking to move up and out. And by out, I mean like out of the play-in and into the top 6 seed. And everything's pretty separated by like 2 games.
It's very fluid out west.
Yeah, very fluid. It's fluid. So with that being the case, guys are going to be on their best or worst behavior, however you want to look at it. And they will be queuing in on what the Bulls do well and what they like to do, trying to take away what they like to do. And I'm interested to see how the Bulls kind of counteract that. The Bulls and Billy Donovan kind of counteract that, especially with guys like Patrick Williams coming back into the lineup. We'll see if Vooch makes it back, Lonzo and those guys. So, yeah, man, they got a tough road ahead. I understand, and I don't have a problem with guys eating cake right now. You just won 2 games, and we ain't done that in I don't know how long. It is hot out there in the desert. So I completely understand. But, man, it's going to get a little tougher, but it will answer some questions about this team for me going forward about how real is this? You know, about guys like Josh Giddey. How real is this? Can Kobe White be consistent? Can we count on him for a couple of 30-point games? Because they need that. The Bulls definitely going to need those kind of things. And what's so real about Zach Collins and his realness? You know, Kevin Huerter, can he be a consistent shooter? Because he's kind of been up and down with his. So is Tre Jones really that dude? Because he was tonight. Is Tre Jones really that dude, man, going forward? So when teams start really keying in on guys because they're really trying to win, I'm curious to see how the Bulls respond. Seriously.
Yeah, I mean, this season or the rest of the season, the stretch run, I think is just it's hard to. I don't know. I'm constantly thinking about like, okay, well, what does this mean big picture? Yeah. That's like really because this season is not like. I mean, Billy said it multiple times. They're not winning a championship this year, and you can make a run through the play-in and have a good playoff series, whatever. I'm of the belief at this point that they're going to make the playoffs. And I think that can be valuable, but I'm just constantly thinking about like, what does it mean bigger picture? And I think the more of these, to your point, Dave, these games that you can look at and say like, these are actual competitive high level games where you're getting that information, the more it tells you about like how much you need to pay Giddey when he is a free agent this year. How much is Kobe and Io? Are they going to be willing to take the extension? Or are you going to have to sign them using cap space and free agency? Yeah. And even beyond that, like, is that group good enough to take another step forward? Because they're playing well now, obviously. And Io's down for the year. That's unfortunate. You're not going to be able to see him with them as they continue to develop this. But like, what does it mean for them next year and the year after? And how do they build? So that's just what I'm most fascinated about in general with this team is like, what's the outlook? And I think you do need to have the information of how do they perform against the Suns, the Kings, the Lakers, the Nuggets, the Lakers, the Mavs, Oklahoma City. Like those are the teams that are measuring sticks. And that's going to be a tough road trip. You've got a couple of easier games here before that. Not to say like the Pacers are easy. They just killed the Bulls the other day. You've got the Nets, and then it lightens up a little bit down the stretch too. So it's just going to be interesting to watch how this group continues to come together here as the season ends, because I actually do think there's a lot to learn from it. I'm not sure what answers we'll have by the end of it. But I do think this is just valuable, like information gathering time. Yeah, because we have so many questions, you know what I mean? And we've had them since the season started about some of these guys. Giddey especially, you know, about his questions. So putting them up against legit competition when they're truly playing for something, and not just early on in the season where they're resting guys, or late in the season where certain teams don't have to worry about their seeding in the playoffs or play-in or whatever.
But out west, like, it's so close. So guys are really going to be focused on trying to attack and go at the Bulls, man. And again, the Bulls are a good team on the road. They play much better on the road than they do at home. So you're getting them at their best as far as the Chicago Bulls. They're a better road team. They're more comfortable doing that. Josh Giddey has been consistent. Tre Jones, all these guys have, really been doing their thing consistently so far after this All-Star break. It hasn't materialized in a ton of wins, as Matt is pointing out to y'all, but we have to see it as far as the tough play of the Bulls. So it also depends on how you're judging it, Will, if you're judging it by wins.
Well, that's a good point.
By
because,
judging it by the actual, tough play.
Yeah, I think that's a good point because, I genuinely am trying to be open to, are these the pieces of the future? I really do want to not have my mind made up about any of these players in terms of how good they can be. But I also don't want to sit here and say this team is sick right now and they're going to be the 10th seed and feel like the 10th seed is where they should be headed. That is not an okay outcome. And I know people are excited about this game. That's fine. That's okay. They played well and they deserve it. But they've been in the bottom play-in game for the past 3 years now. And maybe they get out of it this year, but this year included, it's been 3 years. They have to have a path that gets them beyond that. Yeah. And so we know that in an Eastern Conference where 5 teams are trying to lose and 5 teams are trying to win, you're in that middle group somewhere. But how do you get above that? And you're not willing to go down to go above, which is, I think, the most sort of tried and true method of team building through the draft.
Correct.
So you're not willing to do that. How do you do it?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm curious about. And again, I really am trying to challenge myself to be more open to all of these players. Kobe has been fantastic. Giddey has been fantastic. The depth has been they did well in the Zach trade. Herter, Tre Jones, Collins are all giving them real minutes. Is it long-term? Exactly. And is it going to get you into not just the top 6, not just the top 4, but how about the second round of the playoffs? How about the conference finals or a finals? Is this team serious about actually winning? Yeah. Or do they just want to be competitive? Because they've proven they can be competitive.
Yeah.
But how do you get to that next level? And I don't know the answer to that. I'm trying to be open to it. And I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm just saying that's what I'm curious about.
Because those aren't the guys you're evaluating. You're evaluating the young guys. You just want to know what can Zach Collins or Herter or Tre Jones kind of fit in with what you're doing. Yeah. And continue to play well. We know what they are, but
AK said the 9 or 10 good players thing, and I know he got ripped for that. You still need a star player. Can any of these guys step up and be that star player? Yes. Remains to be seen. Mm-hmm. But that's the challenging thing to get. It's not hard to build depth. It's hard to get a star.
Bars.
And it's a lot harder when, of the 3 ways you can do it, you're eliminating one off the bat.
Don't need stars, Goat. 9 to 10 good players. That's all we need. Joe Bookman in the comments is saying, until the Bulls get their true star, who obviously isn't here, bars, Joe Bookman, this is all just treading water, bars. Bobbing up and down a bit, not too high, not too low, just wasting time. Joe Bookman, I love you and your level head and your completely accurate takes about what's going on here.
But think about okay, if you get that star player, it slots everybody else down into a role that probably makes more sense for who they are. Mm-hmm. But what if one of the guys that they already have becomes that? And I think that's where the excitement is. I'm not there yet.
And go ahead, finish your.
I'm not there yet. And again, I'm trying to be open to that. But again, to me, it's more about the team building element of how do you get that guy? Are you just betting you already have him? Are you going to do it in free agency? Or are you going to do it via trades? Because you're definitely not doing it in the draft.
Right.
No.
And to that point of okay, if there is a star, the Bulls add to this, assuming they retain Giddey and, he goes from being the most important player as far as what they're running offensively to the second most or the third most. Cameron in the comments said, Giddey doesn't need to be our best player. He's a good second or third option, excellent facilitator. The big reason why I have been a skeptic this whole time is that when we all saw what happened in OKC, y'all, when SGA took those steps to true stardom and bordering into superstardom the last couple of years, and then you also see Jalen Williams ascend into being a quasi-star level player, and Giddey became not the focal point, but the third option, sometimes fourth on that team. He became obsolete because of his limitations of what he can do on offense, and also you pair that with his defense being a problem, and that's why he got played off the floor.
Mm-hmm.
We saw it happen. That is why I am a skeptic to this notion that, and Purdue has said it too. Purdue believes it. Giddey doesn't have to be your best player.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to pay him like he's your best player, but he could be a good third or fourth best player on a good team. And I'm sitting here saying we already have the evidence that that's not the case. So yeah, there's that.
And I think what I'm saying when I say I'm trying to be open to that is like, we have seen him in that situation and it not go well. He's still young. Maybe there are things that he can do to improve.
Right. So like him
better.
being able to knock down threes, playing off the ball could
step.
change that.
To me, it's more about
defensively.
With the ball, it's more about like the step back three and being able to create his own shot at 3 levels. Right now, he's gotten a lot better at being a driver and finisher. Yeah. But I think so. It's about being open to the potential for him to improve with that. But then also, it's just like, how do you build around that if we've already seen even this year him be played off the court in games late and him be in a situation where he's not putting up these kind of numbers when he has Zach LaVine and Vooch next to him. Yeah. So again, not saying he can't do that, not saying he hasn't taken strides since then, because he has.
Yes.
But this is where it's now time that he needs to continue to do that and prove it.
Undisputed, Peck's completely ignoring his Giddey shooting and defensive improvements. We were literally, myself included, talking about that 20 minutes ago.
I also think, like, when you're talking about putting the right players around him, I think that his contract that he signs this summer is going to inform what kind of player you can put around him. You're not going to have space to put a great player around him if you pay him too much. So I think that's part of it too.
David Lithgow, love you, buddy. Peck, my man, dude sat in the corner at OKC in year 3. Now he's playing. His correct position is that simple. Again, I'm telling you, with Giddey being where he needs to be right now, the Bulls are how many games under 500? There is a ceiling to that. All right, we got to take our second break. We will come back, and I promise, let's talk a little bit of Tre Jones, because Tre Jones in the 4th was really entertaining. Hit that like button. I don't care if you hate me. Hit that like button.
Dude, the night is coming. Oh, it's time to smack you in the face of Ray CDJR, ladies and gentlemen. Head to Ray CDJR on Route 12 today to choose from their huge inventory of new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram vehicles. You can shop over 125 vehicles priced under $20,000, ladies and gents. With that friendly team of brand experts. The team at Ray CDJR is here to help you during each step of your car shopping journey. Plus, I'm fancy. Plus, since they prioritize affordability, shout out to Go, you know you won't overpay for the vehicle that you need. I don't know why I went Sam Jackson on that. That's just how I felt.
I liked it.
That's just really how I felt. And with Ray's Price Promise, you can shop confidently with no add-ons and no hidden fees. When? Ever. Never, ever, ever. The price you see is the price you're going to pay. It's just that simple. Go check out our partner today and shop one of Chicago area's largest inventories. Find the right new vehicle for you, then drive home a very happy indeed. The team at Ray CDJR is the only team that we recommend. For more information, visit Ray CDJR today on Route 12 in Fox Lake or online at raycdjr.com. Why? Because they've been serving the community since 1963. 3 of them things.
Tonight's postgame also brought to you by Cornbread Hemp CBD.
Let's go.
America's first ever USDA organic CBD company. Their mission at Cornbread is to improve your quality of life with the highest quality hemp. Life can get a little crazy. One of the things that helps me unwind, Cornbread Hemp CBD gummies, y'all. Have you been looking for a natural way to relieve aches and discomfort? The CBD gummies from Cornbread Hemp are formulated to work with your body, not against it. I am not as young as I once was. This is a true fact.
That's what I heard.
I'm learning to live with it.
Congratulations.
I'm old and creaky. I got a lot of sores all over the place. Yeah. But sometimes if I try to maybe maintain my physical and mental wellness, I turn to those Cornbread Hemp CBD gummies as part of that wellness plan. Have you tried everything under the sun for peace of mind? It sounds like it's time for you to try Cornbread Hemp CBD gummies.
Get on it.
They only use the flower when they are making those Cornbread Hemp CBD gummies from that hemp plant. Unlike some of their competitors, other CBD manufacturers who will use the entirety of the plant not just like seeds and stems and all that, even the stalk of the plant itself, they will put that in there and say, oh, yeah, this is CBD. No,
No.
not cornbread.
Mm-mm.
They only use the flour.
That's it.
Formulated to help relieve discomfort, stress, and sleeplessness. All products are third-party lab tested and USDA organic to ensure safety and purity. So, what are you waiting for? Right now, they're offering CHGO listeners 30% off your first order. Just visit cornbreadhemp.com/CHGO and use promo code CHGO at checkout. That's cornbreadhemp.com/CHGO, promo code CHGO for 30% off your first order. Cornbread Hemp. This is the good life.
Oh, yes.
Woo-hoo.
All right, you want to get into Tre Jones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
how
why
many
not?
guards are the Bulls going to keep around long term? Because the best players
All of
are all
them?
guards.
They're all
Giddey
guards.
All
is a
of
guard.
them?
Kobe is a guard. Lonzo hasn't played in a while.
Mhm.
Guess what? He's a guard. You got Tre Jones coming in, who's been fantastic. Like, what do you do? How do you play all these guys?
I have no idea, man. This is not a
Even like
easy situation.
even the like wings on this team are
Yeah.
guards.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Like everybody, it's very guard centric. I guess they make these trades in the off season and get off of some of those guards.
But so that's the
I think that's
question.
how
is
they
Who
do.
do you stick with and who do you move off of?
That's the
I mean,
question.
Tre Jones is an unrestricted free agent, so
Yeah.
they could lose him.
Yeah.
15 points tonight, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, a block. He had basically the game winning steal
he
and
did.
run out layup.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, Giddey. I don't want to shortchange Giddey on that 3, but
Yeah, but it was.
he had a couple of plays that were just tremendous down the stretch. He's been a great defender.
Mhm.
He's locked in the zone at the top of that 2-3 zone, which has been working well for the Bulls. And I think it's just like nice for Billy to have multiple ball handlers on the court at all times. Like
Sure.
he never doesn't have at least 2 guards. Oftentimes he's playing 3 guards. They're all getting the ball up the court quickly. It's helping the Bulls stay on their offense. And you saw a couple of times today, which is something you see every game, where it's like, okay, Andrew Wiggins made a layup, and then before the Heat even like know what hit him, Matas has already gotten one down the other end because Tre Jones had a nice hit-ahead pass. And so, yeah, 33 minutes for him, 33 minutes for Kobe, 37 for Giddey. Even like, I mean, Tillon Horton-Tucker got in briefly. Kevin Huerter played 30 minutes. He's more of a 2 than a 3.
Mhm.
And then obviously, yeah, like Lonzo and
Yeah.
some of your other guys. So it's a tough situation. I think the Bulls like to have a lot of guards, so maybe they can continue on with like 3 or 4 on the
Yeah.
rotation. But yeah, it's just interesting. And then like, I mean, if you do get a draft pick, you don't want to like say no to the best player available if he's
If it's
a
a
guard.
guard.
So it's just it's a interesting situation because at some point you do need to have some size,
Yeah.
just to put on
It's a
some of these
thing.
bigger players.
I think where you have to also look at who the Bulls are definitely going to keep at the guard position. Definitely Lonzo. He just signed him to the contract, so he'll definitely be here.
Mm-hmm.
I think definitely Javon Carter because he is opting in.
Picking up that option.
He is opting in. He is going to make that money right there. Giddey, I think, is obvious, even though you might call him a forward or a guard, but like Will said, there are wings on his team.
And like
that are
that's the
guards.
that's a nice
So
thing about
he's
Giddey
gonna
is
be
like
here
he
too.
allows you to play. He's able to play next to other guards like
Yes.
Kobe, who can play off the ball because he gives you more size positionally and rebounding, which obviously he's very good at. So
And Ayo will be here as
I forgot
well.
about Ayo.
Ayo will definitely be here as well. Kobe, I'm
Kobe,
90%
Giddey,
sure
Tre
he'll
Jones,
be here.
Lonzo.
But Tre Jones, I'm not sure about. Like Tre Jones, like you said, is unrestricted. If he's playing this well and you're a role player, you go get that check. And that's what you do. Shout out Javon Carter. You go get that check. And if a team sees that he's playing like this and wants to give him a check, I think he'll make that move. I'm sure he's having fun here like that, but what's more fun is more money. So so we'll see. I think he'll be the guy that won't be around for this team as far as the guards are concerned. But Javon, maybe they do that and he opts back in and he gets traded. That could also be a case for him. But I think we are for sure locked in my opinion, to Lonzo, Giddey, Kobe, and Ayo. I think those guys are for sure going to be here for the Chicago Bulls. I would be surprised if Kobe gets traded. I'd be even more surprised if a guy like Ayo gets traded.
And you'd be even more surprised if
even
a guy like
more,
Giddey isn't around.
Like Giddey isn't around. Like I would be just.
And you'd be even
oh my
more
God.
surprised if Lonzo, after coming back,
There's no way. Right,
yeah,
right.
I mean, it's just
Super shocking. So
they re-signed him.
they just re-signed him, then they traded him. No. Those 4 guys will definitely be around. I think those might be your core 4 guards, if you want to call it that. And Then the other ones, we'll see. We'll see if Javon stays. I know he's coming back. He'll opt in, like I said. We'll see if they decide to keep him. But yeah, we'll see as it goes, man. We'll see.
Connor in the comments saying Tre Jones is going to find himself a really nice bench role on a contending team. No chance he's back.
Well, okay, so that's brings up the point that I wanted to make, which I forgot about, which is Tre Jones, unrestricted free agent. So even if you want to retain him, like, you have to be careful about how much money you're spending in free agency.
Where is he on the Bulls front office's priority list of this offseason's to-do list?
That part.
Well, even thinking about, like, I mean, AK said on the podcast with Stacy and our guy Mark Shanowski, that, shout out to him, that this draft was, they're going to get a good player in this draft.
Mm-hmm.
Next year's got a really good draft too. And then in 2026, they only have a fraction of their cap invested. So that changes when you re-sign Giddey. That changes if you retain Tre Jones to a longer term deal.
Mm-hmm.
And if being a free agent player is important to you, you have to line that money up. And basically your window to become a free agent player is going to be ahead of 2026 when you just don't have a lot of money on the books. And so if you re-sign Tre Jones, who's looking like a guy who is worth a payday, then that cuts into your money next year. It also obviously prevents you from, well, not prevents you, but it cuts into the amount of money that you can give to Kobe and Ayo.
Yeah.
Ayo may be extendable on his contract. Basically, I think he'll be extended for, like, the rule is 140% of the final year of your salary. So that's $7 million for Ayo next year. Or I'm sorry, this year, 7.5. So 140% of that, or it's 140% of the average NBA salary. So if that number is high enough, you may be able to retain him. Kobe, I don't think is going to be extendable, which means you need to sign him with your cap space, which means you need to have cap space, which means Giddey and Tre Jones, like whatever those guys sign for, is going to cut into that.
Yeah.
And then that's just to retain the team that you have. And so if we're talking about how do you find that star player and you're not doing it in the draft, you got to do it either with trades or in free agency. And 2026 is that time to strike. And so you do have to kind of keep your books open.
Yeah.
Tre Jones could be a 1-year deal. He could be a sign and trade. Maybe he's just like gives you a really team friendly deal. Who knows? But that is sort of a question I think that the Bulls have to answer now as they look at their long-term books, because as they went into this transition phase of a younger team, inherently the runway is longer, right? You're not just looking at the DeMar DeRozan era where it's like the last couple of years of his prime. Bless you, Katie.
Did you sneeze off the whole headset? That's impressive.
That was powerful.
That's a powerful sneeze.
So I just think it's interesting to think about how this team building works when you have all this money invested, and then you also want to keep the guys that you have and also bring in guys. So.
Yes, right. Like I equate it to like playing with your own toys, but not wanting to share any of your own toys, but wanting everybody else's. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and the cool ones too. You know what I mean? Give me your best ones. Well, I'm going to need your army man. No, these are mine. We are holding on to them all. So yeah, they got some stuff to look forward to. But yeah, I see people figure enjoy this win. Enjoy the win. Enjoy the victory, Bulls fans. We're not here to smack cake out of your hand. Enjoy the victory. They just won 2 straight games, man. They've been starving. The brothers been starving. Enjoy the game, man. And as you know, when we win, you know what we do when we win. We give you more cake in the form of an awesome belt when Matt throws it and Katie puts her hand way up in the sky she twists it.
I'm not doing it yet.
You're not doing it?
We have 388 people watching.
Shout out.
And
Thanks for being here, y'all.
only 104 likes. So I'm not doing it yet.
I saw somebody in the comment who's like, I'll give you a like when you like have better takes, which I think is hilarious.
I literally told him to leave.
Thanks for being here.
She said leave.
I told him to leave. So hit the like button or you don't get good in the night.
Well, they're going to get it, Katie. You can't hold it hostage.
I can.
Katie said, yep.
She said, I hit the button that starts it.
That is within my purview.
I'm going to do it.
Shout out to our guy, Caleb Cox in the comments. He said, I've got a crush on Tre Jones. He shouldn't be back next year, but I won't complain if he is.
He won't be here.
He'll need to be here to be one of the 12 guards that they'll, probably have on the squad next year.
Okay.
Because you need that many, right? You need that many.
Need 9 to 10.
I just think it's funny, like, this comment, a former 6th overall pick that just turned 22, getting better. Younger players can do that. Who knew? But yet that same logic doesn't apply to Patrick Williams, who everybody kills in the comments all the time, who's 23 and was the 4th overall pick.
Like, it's true.
I saw somebody also trying to compare Pat's contract to Josh Giddey getting a new contract, and like referring to them as equivalent. And like people hate on Pat, or what hate on Josh, whatever. Well, Pat's is at 18, right? And it's like fixed, like 18 annual,
18 flat for this year, and 4 more, including a player option.
Josh is getting more than that.
Oh Lord!
But that's kind of my point. Is like it's different for all players, and like the reason why you're frustrated with Patrick is also the reason why there are reservations about Josh Giddey.
Yeah, when teams
just because he's young and new to you doesn't mean that his previous sample size doesn't exist.
No, it exists, and when teams key on him and focus on him, you saw what happened, and that's why I'm sincerely concerned and shouldn't even say concerned. I am sincerely just ready to see what happens when teams start doing that again. When, again, he's been so wide open from the three-point line and hitting those shots, which is awesome. What's going to happen when those teams finally start keying on him? And, again, I'm not saying he can't succeed under those conditions, but that's literally the next step in the development of a basketball player. I talked about it with Matas. I was like, okay, well, boom, he did that part. Great. Now let's see you do it against the elite guys out here. Boom, let's see you go guard this guy night after night after night, and then see if you can still score while you're playing 30 minutes. That's how you have to evaluate, you know what I mean, these guys right here. So, yeah, I'm excited to look forward to see it. Katie, put your hand in the air.
Yeah, we've reached an adequate level.
Put your hand up in the air. High, as high as you could possibly reach. Bring it down across the cheeks of people. Smack them in the face, Katie. Hard.
To be the man, you gotta beat the man. Now. I'm the man.
Woo! Empire Today, presenting Goon of the Night, because all they do is floors, floors, floors. No matter what. 580 to 300. Go!
Can I throw it back to Peck because I want to hear him angry sing?
Angry sing, Peck!
Empire.
Still dulcet.
Today.
Still dulcet with the tones.
You can't demand anger. The anger comes when it comes.
I know it's here. I just wanted to hear it.
Oh, you will. You'll hear it. You'll see it. You'll feel it. But right now, you will feel this wonderful gift that we give to the Goon of the Night. Will Gottlieb, I'm going to start with you. Who is your Goon of thine night?
I think this is going to be his first nomination.
Okay.
My Goon of the Night is Arturas Karnisovas.
Oh my God! Boo!
Explain.
Boo!
Explain. Go.
Very similar to my take last week or a couple weeks ago about Billy being so committed to doing it his way.
Yes.
I'm giving it to Arturas. He's got Tre Jones, Zach Collins, Kevin Huerter coming in, playing huge minutes. He's going all in on 9-10 deep.
Yes.
He doesn't care about draft picks. He doesn't care about what you think he should do, what I think he should do. He doesn't care about how good you think he is or how good I think he is.
Or the league.
He's doing it his way no matter what. He doesn't care about being stuck in the middle. He's going through the middle, and he's going to come out the other side somehow. So I'm going Arturas Karnisovas.
That was awesome. Very well done, sir. Very well done.
Kyle was, ew, gross.
That is just so goonly.
It is very goonly.
To just disregard everything and just do what you think is best.
Yeah. There's a brick wall there. We're going through it.
We're going through it.
Oh, yeah. That's goonly. Matt Peck. Sir, your Goon of the Night. Dave says we need some rage. Hit him with it, Matt.
I'm no. It is what it is, y'all. My Goon of the Night. I mean, how can I not vote for Josh Giddey? He had a triple-double. Dude's a beast. Third Bulls triple-double. Woo! Enjoy, y'all. Enjoy.
Matthew Peck,
Can I
ladies and
change my
gentlemen.
answer?
Oh,
Play-in tournament for the rest of time. Hope y'all really enjoy it.
Katie Duffy, your goon of the night.
Yeah, you can call me conceited for this. I don't give a crap. It's me.
Woo!
It's me. It's International Women's Day. I'm literally fighting off all of these words that I'm not going to say in our comments. Kyle, I have Kyle's endorsement, as you see here.
Let's go.
And yeah, I don't want to vote for any of these players because this was a really crappy game, and that's it.
Damn.
I'm so proud. I'm so proud of Katie.
Ain't it? Yeah. Here's the thing.
Just
She's
being
always like this.
herself
Yeah.
on the mic.
To be fair, she's
I
always
love
this
it.
way. This is who she is, ladies and gents. Know to love her. Grow to love her. Or not. She's still going to be her. She does not. This belt, though, this cummerbund, looking amazing and just shining in the light. Oh, it is awesome stuff. So, the Goon of the Night award belt goes to Katie Duffy. You damn right she gets it. You damn right she gets it. International Women's Day. She has been on her goon not just today, but the entire time she been up in here. She sneezed and her headset flew off. All right?
True.
That is goon behavior up in here.
Why is
Oh.
Royal Fanfare not playing for Katie?
Play it for
yourself
yourself.
the fanfare.
Play
Play
it.
the fanfare for thine queen.
Thank
There
you.
it is. Look at Coach.
Thank
now
you.
feel so much better.
This
You're
is-
absolutely right. She
This
gets
is the send-off you deserve.
She deserves it. She has earned it. Oh, she puts in the time for it. This goes to Katie Duffy. And she don't like none of y'all, but she love all y'all. Boom. In the face. Well, some of y'all. Smack them hard. She does
Boom.
that. Oh, she was definitely goonly.
Love it.
Love it.
Also, International Women's Day. Shout out to the one and only Sarah Vidger,
Sarah
producing
Bear.
CHGO Blackhawks right over there in Studio B right now. Shout out to Sarah Bear. Shout out to Emma, our queen of social media here at CHGO.
On vacation.
That's right.
Hanging out.
Shout out
Slam.
to Amanda and Caitlin, rocking our, working hard for our sales crew
Yeah.
every day, every week, every month, every year. Shout out to all you.
Lori as well.
Shout out to all you
themselves.
ladies out there in Bulls Nation. That's a solid. Wait, is that Katie's second Goon victory?
That's her first.
First?
That's her very
Wait,
first
does
one.
does she have a partial?
I believe she just has this her
No,
first
I
period.
do not
first.
have a partial. This is
Yeah.
my first one ever.
I believe it's
Wow.
her first period one, man. Yeah.
Nothing sweeter than the first.
Nothing sweeter than the first, man. It feels right. And she called it. She called her own
Yeah,
shot.
She did
She
call
called
her own shot.
shot, ladies and gentlemen. She called her own
What,
shot.
what did you say? Like, I don't care if this sounds conceited or something.
Yeah, she didn't
Yeah.
care.
Yes, I don't
Yeah.
care if it sounds
She
conceited.
came
I
out
love
with
it.
it.
That's literally Babe
I love
Ruth's
it.
point.
Yeah, correct. Luckily, I didn't need to be swayed because I already was picking her for Goon of the Night. It was already happening. The shout out. She deserves this and much, much more.
Brian Genesis, the most recent of several in the comments to let us know just how loud that Royal Fanfare audio cue is. Oh my God, so loud, Katie. That's right.
Goat needs it.
Needs to be loud. How can
Goat's
it be
gotta
a
have it.
Royal Fanfare
Yeah,
if it is not
Hit the like.
offensively loud?
this is true. This is true.
What do you think? They played those trumpets quietly back in the day when
Not
Kings
high
and
roll.
Queens were making their entrances?
Not for Katie Crowbar.
No.
That ain't high roll, baby.
I was just in medieval times last weekend. Trust me. That's just loud.
Can't wait to go back to medieval times.
Oh, medieval times.
Can't recommend it
So I
enough.
get medieval. Oh, shout out to you. I do have one more thing, though. There's one more thing.
What do you got?
There's one more thing.
In the world of Gundam? Or
In the world of awesomeness. I would say.
okay.
There's one more thing.
What awesomeness do you have
Shout
for
out
us?
to our guy Easy, who is
What?
actually in the States,
What?
who is actually at the game. He was down there in Miami
Hanging out in
at
Miami?
the game, man. And he sent me over something, and I'm going to show it to you. Pow! Right there, man.
Oh!
Get a look at that.
Easy.
Yeah.
Oh, yo,
Dude,
let's
does-
go.
Does he actually live in France?
He does.
I
Yeah.
feel like he just lives in the U.S. and follows the Bulls around.
Hey, man, international players. That's how
That's
they roll,
impressive.
baby.
Good for you, Easy.
Man.
He sent
shout out
that
to our
to
guy
me,
Easy.
and he said, please send this to Matt Peck. And I said, you better believe I will. son.
Was that Easy's first time getting a little interaction with Joe, or did he get to meet him when we met Joe at the pop-up NBA house in Paris?
That's a great question. I don't know. I think he met him there, though. I
Okay.
do think he met him there.
I want to say, yeah.
And he met Lou Aldang as well that next night, I believe.
Man.
But, yeah, man. But he took, and I was like, I'm going to show this to Peck. This will bring a smile to his face.
Dude,
See, handing out joy. It's what it is.
These dubs are dumb. I just saw our guy Easy with a smile and Joakim in the back. That picture immediately lifted my spirits.
See, yeah,
it's the magic of Joe.
Handing out love, baby. It's one of my favorite things to do. She is your business.
Last time the Bulls had a relevant team. It's been a minute,
Ooh,
y'all.
He said he wants a medieval times ad read.
Man.
Ooh.
Should I tell Jimmo and his and Lori
Chris
and all them
Lori,
to go hit up Medieval Times?
Yes.
I think it's a bad idea.
Katie just wants a free trip to Medieval Times.
No, I just want to go to Medieval Times. I'll pay for it. I don't care.
It's on Katie. Cool.
I didn't say that. I said I'd pay for myself.
That's what we heard.
You're trying to get me to pay for you on International Women's Day? That's crazy.
What do you mean? You're an international independent woman that can do it for yourself.
Anyway,
of course I'm going to do
I've been
that.
trying to... I've been
Within a year, Destiny's Child put out
You know what I'm
songs called
saying?
Independent Woman and Bills.
Bills. It's on you. You can do that.
Pay my bills.
You got that, Katie.
Can you pay my telephone bills?
And the automobiles.
/ I'm an independent woman.
That's right. We believe in you.
I've been trying to pitch the guys on what we should do at the end of the season to, celebrate the end of the season. And I first said a rage.
When it ends.
I first said a rage room, and
July.
You guys weren't really feeling that one. So
I like the rage room idea.
I think it should be maybe it should be Medieval Times. I don't know.
Medieval
We'll
Times.
figure it out.
Medieval Time. Yeah, rage room feels personal. Like you need to be there by yourself to get it all out as you really want to get it out. Matt don't care. He'll get it out in front of anybody.
No. One of my friends had the absolute gall and audacity to ask me about the Bulls while we were sitting down to enjoy our Medieval Times. And I was tempted to run out there and grab one of the knight's swords and freaking crack him with it.
Literally. He's a strange man. It's just jumped on.
Excuse me. I am here at Medieval Times to be thoroughly distracted from my day-to-day life as someone who talks about the Bulls.
Can I borrow your sword just real quick?
Yeah. I think that's how it sounded in his head, but it came out, hey, sword. That's how it came.
Shout out to Matt Noonan, who said every room Peck goes into after a win is a rage room.
Oh, well done. Well done, man.
Good take.
Yeah.
Good,
it was for a while there, but I've given up.
Yeah.
I've given up. For this year.
Okay.
What did the Bulls just increase their stranglehold on the 10 seed to
about
4 games, 4.5 games?
Yeah. They're moving up.
And I saw somebody in the comments earlier, I think it was post game Thursday night, being like, "Yo, even those who were pro tanking, they're not falling out of 10th, so who cares? Give up." To those people, I would say, yes, that's true. The Bulls are 100% going to the play-in tournament, probably in 10th, maybe in 9th. Who knows? That Heat team we just beat looks pretty terrible. They're in 9th.
8th seed?
The Spurs and the Blazers are still 2 teams out west who, regardless of where the Bulls end in the Eastern Conference standings and play in or no play in, can have an impact on where the Bulls are in the draft lottery standings.
Mm-hmm.
Those teams' records against the Bulls also matter.
Yeah.
So I am nothing more than a Blazers W's and Spurs W's fan from here on out.
That's where he is. That's where he's
the sad reality of covering this team.
I was kind of thinking this morning. Like, we're in the 10th. We're not moving. I feel like I'm just going to enjoy these wins from now on.
I think you guys are
how's
wrong.
it working for you?
Okay, well,
I think they're going to move up.
Oh, God.
I really do. Yeah, I really do.
Like, up in the good way or in the bad way?
Up in the
standings, not the lottery
from
standings.
10 to 9.
Okay, well then, I mean...
We're 3.5 back in Miami after tonight.
Yeah.
With the tiebreaker.
Maybe what I mean to say is we can't really fall at this point.
Yes, you're in.
In the standings.
Yeah, but it does, like to Matt's point, it does affect where they land. I mean, if they finish 9th in the East as opposed to 10th, that really changes where they are in the tankathon order.
Mm-hmm.
If they make it out of the play-in, though, it won't matter.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine, guys, because we got Josh Giddey and Tre Jones and Kobe White. It's going to be great. Zach Collins, Kevin Herter.
They can simply just draft a
I just named almost 9 or 10 good players.
Yo, man, that is so what. And I enjoy it very much. They beat the Heat. I will always be happy about that. Thank you very much for this. Thank you.
Yeah.
And again, I want to send a shout out to Kobe White again because, again, for a guy who didn't shoot well, he had some big, huge plays.
It's the power of free throws, man.
0 of 8 from 3
keep trying
tonight.
to tell you.
Man, he put his head down, and on a handful of those plays tonight, Kobe was just like, I am getting to the rim and/or I am getting the free throw line.
Right. And I mean, scored 21. You know what I mean? And 21. 3 assists, 3 rebounds for him. But he had some big and ones as well for the Bulls, as you stated, getting to the free throw line. Hate to tell you. So I thought I love that about his game now, man. Like, it doesn't matter what else is going on. If it misses or not, I'm still going to impact this game in some kind of way. And I'm just impressed by that every time I see him do those things. So shout out Kobe White for continuing to do Kobe White stuff.
Kobe White stuff. To those of you watching on our various streaming services, Comcast Xfinity, Samsung TV Plus, Roku, and all them fun hangs, that's going to do it for y'all. If you want the bonus coverage, just head over to allchgo.com.
Mm-hmm.
So before we wrap up, gentlemen, as we do look ahead, I know, you were talking about, some of these teams that the Bulls have to face on that West Coast trip coming up around the corner. But before then, we got the Pacers on deck. The Bulls did just lose to the Pacers, I think, earlier this month. Last Sunday.
Yes.
127-112. Tight game for most of it. The Pacers pull away in the end.
Mm-hmm.
Then they got Brooklyn around the corner from that before they head out on this 6-game trip. 2 winnable games. 2 winnable games before they start that West Coast trip.
Yeah.
What, Dave, are you looking at as far as like who Billy's been playing, who's in, who's out? Will we see a return of Patrick Williams? What's up with Lonzo in the wrist? What's up with Vooch?
Yeah.
Do you want answers to any of those questions? Or are you excited to watch the players that we watched tonight when they face the Pacers on Monday?
When did you say that with a straight face?
I can't.
Yeah, very well. I am excited to watch. I mean, I'm a sicko, so I love watching, the Bulls play or any basketball, period. Like, it's what I do. So I am excited to watch it. I am, and as I said earlier, man, I am truly, truly, truly excited to see what happens with Josh Giddey out on this West Coast trip when these teams really start focusing in. I'm very interested to see that. I feel like Tre Jones has taken over the Ayo Dosunmu spot.
Trey Songz.
No, Trey Songz. Shout out Trey Songz, man. But I feel like that he's really taken over the Ayo Dosunmu spot, and I feel like he tried to put Dalen in there. He tried, and it didn't go super well, even though Dalen had an and one. Shout out to him.
I heard somewhere it was Dalen's time now.
As I said, what did I say this to him? I was talking? I was like, but what time is that? Oh, it's Tony Gill. Yeah, we were talking. He was like, what time? We don't know time. But yeah, man, like I really feel like Tre Jones has really stepped into that spot. And I was talking about Tre I was telling Will, like, dude, this is Billy's guy. You could see it. He had Billy Donovan flavor written all over him, man. So he is that kind of guy. He is definitely, for me, going to take that Ayo Dosunmu role. So I'm curious about the minutes on that and how that plays out. Yes, I want to see when Lonzo comes back because they still got a lot of stuff to figure out. Even though they're playing like this, there's still a lot of injuries and a lot of guys that are out, and a lot of these guys won't get the same playing time. With Billy Donovan going with Vooch, with Billy Donovan going with Lonzo, and guys like that out there. So a lot of roles are going to change. So I'm very curious to see how these guys react to this. Teams are going to be keying on them now, and they're going to be focused on them because you'll be playing teams that really want to win and win these games. And I'm just so curious to see how these players come out and handle that.
And I'm just hoping it doesn't come out of Matas' minutes. Like, he hasn't been really popping. I don't think he's playing poorly or great. He's just he needs to continue to get these minutes.
Yeah.
And when you bring back Lonzo, even though Ayo's out, like now Tre Jones doesn't have as many minutes, or can you try to squeeze another guard into the rotation? And does that mean that Kevin Huerter is going to have to play a little bit more 3? And what happens then if you also have Patrick Williams back? And not to mention Vooch. Zach Collins has been playing 35 minutes a night. Jalen Smith is now going to be out of the rotation because Zach Collins is going to be the backup 5 when Vooch comes back. So even though Ayo's out, even though Zach is gone, there's still a lot of questions about this rotation that I don't know if we'll get the answers to this year just based on injuries and things like that. But we talked about the multiple guards. It's like, how do you play all those guys plus get Matas and Dalen and Julian and Jalen Smith minutes behind Collins, who's been so steady, behind Vooch, behind Patrick Williams coming back? I mean, there's just a lot of bodies here.
But doing that also while you're trying to be in the play-in, like you have a focus. So
I do wonder if the urgency to win continues at the rate that it has. Is that going to come out of Matas' minutes? That would be disappointing.
Shout out to our friend Manifesto in the comments. G Manifesto saying, I am a P. Will Homer, ... Matas needs all the minutes.
All of them.
And look, I think he had 11 at half on Thursday, and then I think he finished with 11 points.
He had 8 in the first quarter.
And then tonight, 8 in the first, 11 at half. I think he finished with 13. Quiet. And that fourth quarter, tight game. Bulls making a comeback. Tre Jones defense.
Yeah.
Giddey hitting a dagger 3. Where was Matas?
On the bench.
I'm not cool with that.
Yeah.
I know Billy, again, if you ever need any more evidence for Billy's not playing for anything other than to win games, and this is how Billy feels about Matas Buzelis, Matas has been riding pine down the stretch of some of these close games. I don't like it.
I don't like it at all. But Matas' defense is solid, man. Like the way he deters shots. Like they were missing some layups, and first I was like, how the hell are they missing that? And then I watched the replay. Oh, because Matas was guarding them, man. Oh, and he was putting his hands over there and deterring shots. So, yeah,
but
man,
when
awesome.
he makes off-ball defensive mistakes, Billy yanks him immediately.
Billy's like,
it happened tonight.
It sure did.
Go back and rewatch. When did Matas get pulled from the game? And then go work backwards from there, and why? He had a turnover, and then he had two defensive lapses.
Yep.
And
he was out of there. Yep, it was gone. So we'll see.
Gotta increase that stranglehold on the 10th seed.
Oh, West Coast, baby.
Can't do that with a rook.
West Coast, here we
Can't
come.
do that with a rook on the floor. That's going to do it for tonight. Everybody, thank you for hanging out with us. Wherever you are in your Bulls fan journey. We appreciate the views, the likes, all of it.
Can I tell you something fun before we get out of here?
Please do, Katie.
This is the most dislikes we've had on a stream.
Hey, let's go.
Shout out, baby.
Since
Bad for the algorithm, guys. Come on.
Since I started here in
Hit the like.
October.
Shout out.
Hit the like for us.
I'll just be here eating popcorn years from now when the Giddey experiment didn't work out.
The asteroids.
It did hit another one.
Hey, let's go.
When the asteroids are raining down and you just be sitting in your chair. Told you so.
Oh,
come on.
See, you called it out, Katie.
I love it. I love it.
Come on, people.
You're
Don't be
welcome
mean.
for the free entertainment.
I wasn't
follow the
asking
GOAT.
for more.
Read his stuff, allchgo.com. Follow him, Will_Gottlieb. Become a diehard to read all of his stuff, the very best of it. Big Dave's a Bow, BAWL Sports. I'm Bulls_Peck. We are CHGO_Bulls. Shout out to
We need to
the
log
queen
off before the dislikes
of the
keep
control.
raining down.
KDW. Swaggy. Smash that.
Come on, guys.
Oh,
You heard it,
man.
Will spill it.
Come on, people.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Bulls are off tomorrow. We are off tomorrow. We will be back on Monday. Bulls Pacers. We will see you for live pregame on that one. Hit the like. See Red be good.
Love y'all, man.
Brutal.
Peace.
Brutal.
Stop disliking.
Brutal.
We all silly like the mayor.